Call a meeting to order. Let's go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Number one on our agenda, Wayne project. They're not coming tonight, so they, right?
Yeah, so that's postponed without date.
Postponed. All right, second on our agenda, 71 Lafayette Avenue. Notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Suffern will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, February at 7:05 p.m. That's in case anyone comes late, or as soon thereafter as possible at the Suffern Village Hall, 61 Washington Avenue, Suffern, New York, on an appeal by 71 Lafayette Avenue, LLC, represented by Lee Freeman, 5 Marion Lane, Muncie, New York, to permit the use of variance at 71 and 73 Lafayette Avenue, Suffern, New York, to demolish the existing parking lot and ATM building and replace with a 14-space parking lot. The approval of such an appeal requires variances from the requirements of section 266-23, minimum front yard and development coverage. The premises affected are situated on the south side of Lafayette Avenue and is approximately 100 feet west of Park Avenue. The properties are listed on the Village of Suffern and Town Ramapo tax maps as section 5435, 2.2-49 and 50. Okay? Mr. Freeman here? Come over here. Raise your right hand and give your, I swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Hello. Hello.
Your name?
Yo Rosman.
What's your name?
Yo Rosman. I'm the manager.
How do you spell your last name?
R-O-S, M as in Mario, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy.
I'm sorry, you got to stand closer to the mic.
Sure. R as in Robert, O as in Oscar, S as in Sam, M as in Mario, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy.
Thank you. Roseman. Did you swear him in? Did you get sworn in?
Yeah, you got some.
So we are seeking approvals to take down the existing ATM building over there and redo the parking lots for a flat parking lot with 14 spots. The plans I have over here. One of the spots is going to be a handicap spot with on the side of the handicap spot space for the handicapped vehicle for entry and exit. There.
So just to be clear for the board, in looking at the plans, the required development coverage is 70%, the max. Currently, it's existing is 78.5%, and with the change, it would be 81.3. So the change really from 78.5 to 81.3. And then the front yard required setback is 15 feet. Currently, it's 23.9 feet. With the change, it would be 4.1 feet. So those are the two variances, the coverage and the front yard. Can I ask if anybody on the board has any questions?
Anybody
On the board?
on the board have any questions?
Well, I have a suggestion. In its current configuration, that last parking space, that car cannot physically back out and come out forward out onto Lafayette Avenue, because there's not enough room for the car to back up. It would force that car to back all the way down and back out onto Lafayette, which we obviously would like to avoid. So my recommendation would be to eliminate that last space so that there's a proper backing out, turnaround, and to come out. And by eliminating that space, you would reduce the amount of coverage almost back to the original amount of coverage. So the amount of the variance would be much smaller.
You're talking the space the far away from the space the most far from Lafayette?
Right, the one all the way at the back. If you look at it, that car only has, that little curb return and the bump out is only like 5 feet. You can't back up and then turn to come out onto Lafayette Avenue in the correct direction.
Is that the one that's handicapped though?
No, the handicap is the
That's the
first one.
handicapped one?
No, the
No,
handicap is the handicap is the first one to Lafayette.
It's not physically possible to back out of that space and then come out forward onto Lafayette. So by eliminating that space, you would give the next space, basically would be the last space. And you would now have 10 feet to back, almost 15 feet, to back the car out and drive out correctly.
The question is if how much space from the parking lot to the building? From the end of the parking lot to the building, if there's space for a car to back out and still turn around.
Well, do you understand the space I'm talking about?
Yes, the last
Okay,
one.
so the way that it is now, the distance between that space and that dead end of the driveway part, it's only 5 feet. And you're going to back into the trees or bushes that are planted there, you're not gonna be able to make the turn and then turn forward. So by eliminating that last space, you would solve two problems. You would solve the backing out issue. The car would be able to back out and drive out onto Lafayette in a forward direction. And it would reduce the coverage by 0.79, and it would bring the coverage almost back to the original amount of coverage, which would be more acceptable to us.
Got it. Okay. I'll have to discuss it with with Leah and then her team.
You have to speak up, I can't hear you.
I'll have to discuss it with Leah.
You'll have to discuss it.
I think otherwise, I don't have an issue with it in general, but if you brought back a revised plan, eliminating that space and showing that the cars can back out, it would be more reasonable to me anyway.
Got it. Okay.
Will this be a private gated lot, or will the public be able to use it on off hours?
I understand it would be a private gated lot
What's it gonna be used for?
for the office building.
What?
For the office building. The building for 71.
Office building, the one next door.
Oh, okay.
I agree with it, sir.
I pretty much agree with Lisa as well. I just have a few questions for you from the county's GML letter. Have you done the Department of Transportation review?
I'm not sure. I'll check on that.
There are some other things in here. They're not major things, but there are things that the county pointed out that you really should do before we move forward. And it probably would be in your best interest to get those done.
Well, don't forget, this is for the planning board also, so, and frankly, a lot of these seem to be planning issues,
Planning board.
but it's up to you. If you want, what I was gonna suggest, if you wanted to move it forward, if you wanted to grant the variance less the 0.79 or whatever that number was, or have them come back, however you wanna.
Give them a conditional approval?
Right. And if the board were to grant it, I would go over a few overrides, because again, some of them, some of the county planning comments were more appropriate for planning, the planning board.
Okay.
But that's up to this board. If you want to do, it's up to the board if you want to see them come back or grant the variance with, What would it be?
And you have to take out that one space?
And then gets approval tonight, but based on we take out one space.
But you still have to go back to the planning board.
Still gotta go to the planning board.
For a public hearing again?
Right. yeah.
Got it. Okay.
You've been before the planning board, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna make a,
Well, what would the number be? Lisa, did you have that, what it would be?
Well, it would, right now he's requesting 81.3, and by removing that space, it would take it down to 79.
79?
So
79 even?
That's why I said it's almost the same as what's existing.
Right, so 79 even.
Yeah, it would
Yep.
be one percentage more.
So do you want to, you could grant the variance to 79.
Right, and existing was 78.5, so it's almost a negligible amount.
And if your planner says, we can't do that, or, we 100% need that space for some reason, I guess they could come back.
Then
And
you'd
you have
have
to
to come
cut,
back.
sure.
Do you know if there was an issue with the parking?
If there's an issue with the parking,
Was there any issue with the parking at the planning board?
no, I don't think so.
So it'll be 13 spots instead of 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it. Okay, so now we have to open up to the public.
We're gonna open it up to the public hearing.
Motion.
Motion?
Second?
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Anybody want to speak on this behalf or against?
Come on, high schoolers, you did so well at the planning board last week.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the
Make
public
a
portion.
motion to close.
Motion?
Second, third, fourth.
All in
All in
favor?
favor, aye.
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 Okay, anybody want to make a motion to approve on conditions?
Lisa, since we removed one.
Okay, I make a motion to approve conditional based on the removal of the last parking space.
So that would be authorizing 79 as
Yeah.
proposed.
Right.
I second it.
Hold on, okay, second. So before we do that, there are a couple of the county planning that could be overridden, although I guess some of them, the one being the, well, let me ask you, were impervious, I'm sorry, not impervious, were pavers or anything considered there? What's going to be the pavement?
It's pavement.
Just regular pavement?
Regular pavement with drainage for the water to go down. They took in consideration the drainage based on the pavement that's gonna bring up the level of the floor higher, so they made additional drainage based on that.
Okay. I guess so, just so that there's no holdup, my recommendation would be to override numbers 7 and 8 of the county planning in terms of building entrances, and again, I would recommend overriding that, the basis being that's a planning board issue and doesn't affect the zoning, the variances, I'm sorry, not the zoning. And number 8 about the designated street line, again, that's an issue for the planning board and does not affect the variances, and if it does, they would have to come back. So we'd take a motion to override 7.
Make a motion to override 7.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then a motion to override 8 on that basis.
Motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then a motion to approve. I guess, I'm sorry, we already made the motion to approve, so all in favor of that motion to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And it's with those conditions and conditioned on getting the site plan approval, all right? That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have to adopt the minutes of February 29th meeting.
So moved.
Second. All approved.
Aye.
Aye.
Next meeting, April 18th, Thursday, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Looks good.
Good.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion
Close the
adjourned.
meeting. Yeah.
So moved.
Okay, second. So moved.